Hey guys, ZFR back here again today, and in this video I want to talk to you guys about my Star Wars Rebels Season 2 finale review. Alright, now, this finale was so good, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking I've never done Star Wars Rebels videos before, and I know I just started doing The Walking Dead. A lot of you are probably wondering, is this turning into a TV channel? No. Alright, I'm just going to talk to you guys about some of the great shows that I watch every now and then, because I love them just as much as I love playing games and stuff. Well, I don't know, I kind of like games a little bit better, but shows, TV and shows are pretty freaking awesome too. But anyway, getting down into this episode, I'm just going to do the basic stuff. I'm going to give you the basic breakdown of all the important stuff. So this isn't going to be like my Walking Dead videos where I go very in depth on everything that happens in the entire episode. I go extremely in depth. Like, I'm going to just talk about some of the really big important moments in this episode. I'm going to try to do them in order. Alright, so first big important moment, let's see, when Kanan, Ezra, and Ahsoka get to the planet, I'll say like the first important moment for me was when that Inquisitor popped out of nowhere. Like, well, actually, he was pretending to be one of the statues, but he was pretty. That was definitely my favorite out of the three Inquisitors that we had this season. Like, he was freaking awesome, man. Like, he used way more acrobatics. Like, sorry, I couldn't get the word out there. He used way more acrobatics than the other Inquisitors. Used the spinning lightsaber a lot more, and I love that Inquisitor. Like, and the fact that he was a little smaller than the other ones, a little more lean and everything, I was pretty cool with it. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed his character for the very short time he was on screen. So yeah, but pretty much he got away in the beginning. So we'll come back to him and what happens there and all that later. But second big important moment is Ezra meets Darth Maul. Alright, now, throughout this episode, it's no surprise that Maul is trying to seduce Ezra to the dark side. Alright, this has been, like, Ezra has been kind of tempted by the dark side since season 1. Alright, so yeah, like, this isn't really a surprise, and throughout the entire episode, Maul just keeps trying to seduce him into giving in to the dark side, and he even kind of succeeds in some ways, because he is getting Ezra to kind of follow the ways of the dark side up until like the middle of the episode, I'll say, or towards the end. Like, Ezra decides not to, but we'll get into that a little bit later when I get to that part, because that part was pretty awesome. Yeah, like, that, like, just seeing Maul back, and just when Maul's talking to Ezra, being all friendly, like, anybody who's been keeping up with the news and stuff knows what's happening here. Maul's trying to seduce him to the dark side, and trying to make him his new apprentice, because he probably wants revenge, and we find out later in the episode that is totally true. Second, third big thing, really, I already did the first, but third big thing was, I'll say, them finding the holocron. Now, I believe that holocron is actually a really important Sith Lord that was featured in some of the Star Wars novels or comics or whatever. So I do believe that is some lore there, but you'll have to look that up yourself to find out whose it is. I do believe it was one of the female Sith Lords in the past. So yeah, there's that to look into if you want to, but I don't have too much information about that. So yeah. Next big thing in the episode was Darth Maul fights the Inquisitors. Oh man, like, when I knew Darth Maul was not a weak old man. Like, the second I saw him again, the second he took his hood off, I knew he wasn't a weak old man, because there's no way. Like, he was still in pretty good shape from what you could see, and pretty much, like, you could tell by the way he used the force and the way he went through the temple with Ezra and stuff, that he wasn't entirely weak and fragile. He was still very strong in the force. So, and plus there's Yoda. Like, if you know Yoda, well then, like, I'm pretty sure it's the same deal with Darth Maul. Like, Yoda walked with a cane too and all that, and walked around like a little green old man, and pretty much at the end of the day, that didn't matter. He was still one of the most powerful Jedi, the most powerful Jedi, if you ask me. But yeah, freaking Darth Maul, he goes in there and he starts wrecking the Inquisitors by himself until Kanan and Ahsoka jump in and force them to retreat, and like, it's just pretty awesome. And right here, I kind of was thinking maybe Maul is going to have to work with the rebels. Like, now, I know he didn't really want to work with the rebels, but at the same time, I thought maybe he's going to be forced to for a couple of episodes or for a while, because, like, otherwise, like, what's he going to do? Like, Darth Maul was a Sith Lord. He was up there with Palpatine. He knows a lot of stuff that could probably just destroy the Empire or whatever. Like, he has a lot of information, and he is a really big threat to the Empire. So yeah, like, the Empire is going to, of course, be out there looking for him, which is what the fourth new Inquisitor was doing on that planet in the first place. So yeah, it's safe to say that Maul doesn't have too many options, but I guess he'll be fine on his own. Like, I guess. But moving on, like, after all that happens, I'm just gonna skip all the way ahead to the part where they start fighting the Inquisitors again, because I feel like that's the next really big part. Like, dude, when Maul killed the seventh sister, I was not expecting it, and hopefully nobody goes in the comments and screams spoilers, because, like, obviously this is a review video. Like, obviously I didn't give the spoiler warning at the beginning, but hey, like, it's a review video. Someone doesn't give a spoiler warning, like, and you're still watching at this point, like, what did you expect? Like, I've already given huge spoilers, so yeah. But anyway, for a second there, I kind of was thinking maybe Ezra might kill her, like, cause when Maul force chokes her and tells Ezra to finish it, like, I thought Ezra was going to do it for a second. Like, he looked like he was actually going to go through with it, but then he couldn't, cause, you know, he still believes in the Jedi way to some degree, I guess, cause he's been training with Kanan for a while. Like, the events of Rebels are going by a couple, like, pretty fast when you think about it, but like, over time, I feel like Ezra has to been with Kanan and the Ghost Crew and the Rebels for, like, I don't know, like, a good amount of months at least now, like almost a year probably. Like, it had to be quite some time, because otherwise they've been doing, like, a lot of Jedi training back to back. So yeah, I feel like it has been some time, and Kanan's probably taught Ezra a lot about the Jedi and what he should believe in and stuff. And Ezra's not a bad person in the first place, so yeah, like, he just Ezra just is a little more angry about what's happened to him, and he wants, like he said, he wants justice, but he's not realizing that can kind of turn into revenge if he lets it. But yeah, Maul straight up kills the seventh sister, and then later on kills the fifth brother. And I know a lot of people are asking, is the new Inquisitor still alive? Because he kind of tried to fly away but fell off the cliff. My answer to it is, a lot of people are saying they think he's definitely dead. I think he is probably still alive. I think even if you still believe he is dead, like, you have to admit there is still an extremely big chance that that Inquisitor is still alive. Because, I mean, come on, look at Darth Maul. Look at Darth Maul, guys. He's been cut in half and fell that high, and fell from that high before, and he just got thrown off of the cliff again. So, like, I mean, if he can survive, I'm pretty sure the Inquisitor can possibly do it too. So, yeah, I think that new Inquisitor may still be alive, and I guess we'll have to wait until season 3 to find out. I hope he is, because like I said, I thought he was a really cool one. Just in his fighting style, like, it was a lot more acrobatic, and Star Wars fans like that. You know, they like those acrobatic moves sometimes. Like, I know a lot of older Star Wars fans, they like the old style where it's kind of like how Darth Vader fights. So even Darth Vader in the Soul is improved on his fighting, I believe, like, or at least we got to see more of it, like so we can judge it a lot more, like. But yeah, that's enough of that. Like, I was getting a little bit off topic, but yeah, that was really unexpected for me when all the Inquisitors died, though. I did not see that coming. I thought they were going to get away, at least, or at least I didn't expect the 7th sister, maybe the 5th brother. I wouldn't have really cared if he died, but since the 7th sister was definitely the strongest one in that group, I was kind of shocked that she died. Like, I honestly was, but yeah, she died. The 5th brother died. Like I said, the 4th one, I don't know if you want to consider him dead or not. Like I said, I think he still has a very high chance of being alive. And then out of nowhere, Maul double crosses them and blinds Kanan. Like, I didn't see that coming either. A lot of people didn't see that coming. That was pretty shocking. And the first thing I thought was, like, he's just like the Jedi from Force Unleashed, which I'm sure a lot of other people are thinking too. He's going to be blind just like that dude. And I'm pretty much okay with that. And if you notice, there's a lot of somewhat connections to the Force Unleashed in this episode, with Kanan being blind, like the I forget the Jedi's name. But like that dude from Force Unleashed, and even Vader's mask getting broken, like the dude from Force Unleashed too. Like, there's a lot of, I feel like those are references, I want to say. It could just be all there just to be there, like they just decide to put it in. But like, I think it's all pretty awesome. Like, it would be so awesome if they made it canon. And they end up making Kanan that dude from the Force Unleashed. But nah, that couldn't work, because dude from the Force Unleashed, he was super old, like, before, like, Luke came along. So yeah, that's impossible. But that would have been a cool little thing they could have done. But nah, Kanan would have to be way older for that. But yeah, like, the last big thing I know everybody wants to talk about, is the big fight between Vader and Ahsoka. It was awesome. There was a lot of emotion behind it. It was everything I expected and even more. Like, I thought they handled it really well. Like I said, it's really awesome to see Darth Vader in action, because I feel like we just don't get a lot of Darth Vader in the movies. Like, because like, when you think about it, the only time we really saw Darth Vader do anything worth watching in the movies was when he fought when he fought Obi-Wan, when he fought Luke those 2 times, and that's really it. And he had some cool dialogue and stuff, but other than that, we didn't really get to see him in action at all. So yeah, I always felt like Darth Vader could have been so much more in the movies if they gave him a few more scenes. Like, just make it awesome. Like, and just to see Darth Vader dominating people in Star Wars Rebels. Like, Star Wars Rebels has been doing so much justice for his character in my opinion. Like, they've just been
like, see, like that. I
giving
put the
him
flank
a
on
chance
him,
to sign
and we cornered
more than
Han
he did
Solo
in the
right
movies,
there and
in my
got
opinion. Like,
the upper
even though
hand
a
in the
lot of
fight
people are
because
gonna
of that.
disagree
That's
with
what
that,
you're
I know
supposed
why.
to do. Like,
It's going to
not
be
just supposed
because,
to run
you
straight
know,
out there and
the
die
movies are
instantly.
awesome and everything, but at the same time, like I said, I just feel like the movies did not highlight Vader enough. Like, they just didn't
It's
give
not
him
like I'm
enough
being a super jerk about. I'm
chance
not,
to
like,
get in there and get his
names when I
hands
call
dirty.
these
Like,
dudes out.
it
Like, that's
only
why I
happened
always
3
call them
times. So,
by
like,
which hero
yeah,
they were
that's
playing,
my
like
point
Vader
there.
and stuff.
But yeah, it's been awesome to see him on screen and action lately on the show and stuff. So I'm really satisfied with that and the way they've handled it.
Why you
They've
running,
stayed true to what how he fights in the movies and everything. Of course, he's mostly robotic, so he's not going to be very acrobatic and he's not going to be very flexible and everything. So I thought I thought they were doing like a really good job with that. Also, like the whole thing with Ahsoka and Vader with his mask broken off. Like, let's just talk about the fact that Ahsoka did one of the hardest things to do. Though I believe the only other person to ever do this was Luke Skywalker. She landed a hit on Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, I guess technically is the one who cut his legs and arm off. But like, that was before he became Darth Vader. That's where he reached that level of power. So yeah, Ahsoka's the first. Ahsoka did it before Luke. Like, Ahsoka was, and this leads you to believe Ahsoka have actually beaten Vader. Like, I know a lot of people said no way at first, but watching that, like, Ahsoka could have definitely killed him if she didn't stop right after she chopped his helmet off. Like, if she didn't stop to look at him or whatever, if she was just like kind of merciless about, like, she could definitely beat Vader right there and right then. Definitely. Like, she had a huge opening after she hit him. But yeah, it was really awesome. It was like a moment every Star Wars fan wanted to see. Darth Vader's mask cracked open, and you could see the yellow Sith eye peering out. And you could just hear Anakin's voice mixed in with Vader's, kind of because of the filtering system or whatever. And it was just awesome, like the emotion there and everything. It was just amazing to me, like, and I think that's all I really need to say for any Star Wars fan to understand. But then, like, you know, instead of going with Kanan and Ezra because the temple's falling down and collapsing and all that, she decides to stay and finish her fight with Vader, and the temple blows up with both of them in it.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that's pretty freaking epic. And that whole ending scene, there's so much to talk about in the ending scene. Like, first, Kanan's now permanently blinded. It's going to be awesome to see him struggle with that and overcome that in season 3. I can't wait to see that happen. I think that can bring a lot more to his character, because Kanan's an awesome Jedi character, but if I have to be honest, I feel like he's kind of lackluster when you compare him to some of the other ones we've had in the past, like for instance, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, even Ahsoka. Ezra is definitely a far more interesting character. Kanan's pretty interesting too, but I feel like he doesn't have enough going for him. Like, I mean, his story is pretty much he began his Jedi training, didn't get to finish it. Now he's slowly finishing it and trying to train Ezra at the same time. I feel like that's all there is to Kanan's story, really. Like, that's all there is to his struggle. So it's nice to see them give him something new to struggle with. I can't wait to see that in action. Another thing, the other thing I want to talk about is Ahsoka dead? A lot of people have very mixed opinions on this. Now, a lot of people believe that she's definitely dead, and that the reason you didn't see her die is because it's a kid's show and they can't really show gruesome deaths or anything, or they can't like so like a beloved character getting cut down like that or whatever. I absolutely do not think that's the case. We've seen them kill people on this show before. We just witnessed the seventh sister get beheaded. Um, the fifth brother died. And earlier this season, we saw the very first Wait, was it this last season? We saw a very first Inquisitor kill two Imperial soldiers. We've seen a few stormtroopers actually get killed here and there. Like, I'm not talking about shot with like the little stun guns. I'm talking about shot by actual blasters. So yeah, they're not afraid to kill people on this show. Like, they just kind of restrain it as much as they can, but they definitely do it. So like, I think if they didn't show Ahsoka's death, she is not dead. She's definitely not. Now, if you pay attention to that end scene when Vader kind of limps out of the remains of the temple, like, you can kind of see it looks like a white-headed figure. A lot of people believe it's the back of Ahsoka's head. It looks like she's going into the temple, or I've heard some people said maybe she's falling down into that doorway or stairway or whatever. I definitely believe that that could have been her. I do believe that she's still alive, because if that wasn't Ahsoka, then what was it? There's definitely someone right there in that end scene, and you can definitely see clearly that their head is white like Ahsoka's, or mostly white, at least, like Ahsoka's is. So yeah, I would believe that's her. Like, what else could it be? If that's her dying, then like, shouldn't she have fell down a long time ago after getting blown up or cut down by Vader? Like, and even then, I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, how on earth did Vader not sense her if that was the case? Now, I know this is a long shot, but it's possible Vader had some sympathy or some remorse for her and decided to let her go. Or it's possible he was just so weakened and damaged by the blast himself, because you can see that he is limping, that he just didn't take the time to even think about her. He could have been injured badly to the point where he needed to find help or whatever as soon as possible. Either way, like, I think Ahsoka's alive. That's my prediction for that. I think she is alive, definitely. That's my bet. We also see Darth Maul escape the planet before the temple explodes. It's going, well, though, after the temple explodes, he steals Vader's ship. He either steals Vader's ship or one of the Inquisitors. I can't tell. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him in the next season. I do think Darth Maul is going to die in Rebels. I think Rebels is going to be where they finally get him. So yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to die next season, maybe season 4. But like, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with his character, because there is a lot that can go down there. I honestly want to see Darth Maul versus Darth Vader. Maybe that's how they can kill him right there. Have him die by Darth Vader. That would be pretty awesome. Also, the last thing I want to talk about is Ezra with the Sith holocron. A lot of people are probably like freaking out about this, because he's opening it, which means he is somewhat tapped into the dark side right now. And like I said, I definitely believe there is a high chance that Ezra can be turned to the dark side. Definitely. And I do believe there's even a possibility Rebels will end off with Ezra turning to the dark side. And, of course, I do not think Ezra's going to align himself with the Empire, though. Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't believe that, like, is ever going to happen. I don't believe he's going to align himself with Vader or even the Emperor Palpatine. I do believe he could possibly just turn to a dark side and kind of be just a dark side user instead of not a Sith, but just a dark side user, if you get what I mean. And I believe he can definitely play a role in the future movies. It's a rumor I've heard going around is, could Darth Maul be the very first Knight of Ren? If that's true, I can possibly see Darth Maul, Ezra joining Darth Maul at the end of the series, becoming and him and Maul creating the Knights of Ren. I can see that happening, and eventually Maul would probably die or whatever, and Ezra will have to take over the Knights of Ren and continue that legacy, and eventually he might die or something. Who knows? We can see it. We can see something about him in the movies. Who knows? And eventually it ends up on Kylo Ren, later down the road. That's just a big theory I'm throwing out there. People might be freaking out about that now that I've said that. But anyway, that's really it for this video, guys. This episode, I'm going to give this episode a 9.8. It was pretty much really close to perfect. The only thing that could have made it more perfect is if it was a little longer and if there was just more. It's so what the end, but there were just a few things here and there. Nothing really important enough to really talk about. But it was a really good episode, alright? So, if you haven't seen it and you like Star Wars, make sure you go check it out. I definitely enjoyed it. I'm sorry the review got so long. There was just so much to talk about. I only planned for this to be about 14-15 minutes. But, whatever. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave likes and comments down below and tell me what you guys think. And I will see you guys on the next video. ZFR out, guys.